Ukrainian paratroopers have liberated the village of Zuketska. This is in the Pokrovsk District of Donetsk region. This was reported by the General Staff. During the assault, our defenders engaged in a fierce battle with the occupiers. There were more than 60 of them there. 44 were killed, 9 surrendered and were taken prisoner. In total, there are currently 26 battles taking place on the front line. The enemy is attacking the most in the Pokrovsk direction. They are also continuing to push forward in the Kostyantynivka and Oleksandrivka directions. Additionally, they are trying to storm the area near the Antonivsky Bridge in the Kherson region. Our defenders are not allowing the enemy to gain a foothold near Kupiansk. Ukrainian defenders say there is no threat of the city being encircled.
Our colleague Kostyantynivka spoke in detail about the situation at the front with the commander of the National Guard of Ukraine, Oleksandrivka. Here is what he said about Russian losses.
If we look at what has been destroyed, in terms of military equipment, we have already destroyed $14 billion worth using drone systems. That's 2,200 tanks and more than 3,000 artillery systems. We are working on this. We are working very actively on reconnaissance drones, supercams. We are working very actively. We have already shot down over 400 Shaheds and more than 1,000 different types of Mavics. For this, people receive a National Guard award. That's why they've become more effective, many times more effective. You understand?
You can watch the full interview with the commander of the National Guard on the YouTube channels of We Are Ukraine. The television version will air today during the telethon at 9:40. Don't miss it!
And now we continue to tell the stories of our heroes. After shooting paratrooper Ivan Zuk in the legs while he was in captivity, the Russians did not provide him with any assistance for almost a month. As a result, Ivan's limbs had to be amputated.
After 8 months in captivity, he is finally back in Ukraine. He is learning to walk again with prosthetics. And he is helping other released prisoners. Our Victoria Hetman will tell his story.
I'm not going all out yet. I need to walk, I need to keep up.
We are recording the interview with former prisoner of war Ivan Zuk right during his daily walk. After severe injuries, the man has been learning to walk again for the 4th month now, this time on prosthetics.
I stood up. It feels like being in a spacesuit.
Step by step, Ivan is training to walk confidently. This basic need, like so many others, was taken from him by the Russians. When they invaded Ukraine in 2022, the man went to defend his homeland.
This is my country, my family, my loved ones. I just saw what they did to Donetsk, what they did to Luhansk, what they did to Mariupol. People worked hard, built things for themselves, and all of that was completely destroyed. I don't want that to come to my hometown.
For almost 3 years, Ivan fought in the Donetsk region as part of the airborne assault troops until he ended up surrounded by Russian forces. And it was then, he admits, that all sorts of thoughts ran through his head, even about suicide. But instead of surrendering, he decided to save a wounded comrade. It was together with him that he was captured.
They just came in from the village, already clearing it out. Well, there were a lot of them.
Severe injuries, Ivan received them for refusing to follow Russian orders.
He says to me, "Tell me the coordinates." I said, "Are you an idiot?" I don't know, for some reason I wasn't afraid of them. I just wasn't afraid of them at all. And he hit my legs with his eyes. This leg took 3 bullets, this one took 2.
For another 2 weeks, Ivan was bleeding in the dugout without any medical help.
They didn't know what to do with me. At night they got an order, over the radio that he urgently needed to be taken to Ivan. And they carried me for 3 kilometers. They were cursing. And the one who shot my legs, him. About 3 days later, they sent him to storm our positions, and he was killed there.
Ivan finally received medical help in Donetsk for the first time in 20 days.
The surgeon told me with this kind of infection and blood loss, he said, people don't survive. When they brought me in, everything was crawling. Those maggots, they were just eating me alive.
The soldier's legs were amputated, and a few days later, he was transferred to a prison in Donetsk.
The guys used to carry me around instead of a wheelchair. They were my wheels. I affectionately called them my little wheels. The guys are still there. I keep track of all the prisoner exchanges.
The serviceman spent 8 months in Russian torture chambers, and on the day of the exchange, he happened to meet the very same comrade he had once rescued.
While they were completely surrounded all around them. He didn't lose his mind at all while he was there. He said, "That's it, Vanya, you came back for me. If it weren't for you, they would have finished me off. I did what I had to do at that moment."
Ivan admits that back then he saved not only his comrade's life, but his own as well.
They had already transferred me to a Ukrainian ambulance. That's when it really hit me. The same question, do you smoke? Here, have a pack of cigarettes? Here's a lighter. Here's some water. Do you want some coffee? No, I don't want any. Come on, take it. You'll have something to eat.
But what touched me the most was how I was welcomed at home.
It's an indescribable feeling. I cried. It's worth fighting for. These are yellow and blue flags, not the tricolor. Our beloved flags are waving. Our wonderful people are coming out to see us. Cars are stopping along the street, and they're all greeting us warmly.
And right away, I called my wife. For all 8 months, she never missed a single rally in support of the prisoners of war and read through every exchange list.
You see, that was the hardest part. I came back, just not all of me. She says, I know.
I am very proud of my husband, that he is the way he is, that he is like that. He went through a difficult journey, but he is with us. He is alive.
For now, the plan is to recover, says Ivan, and then to get back to work. Dmitro Kabak, we are Ukraine Marathon United News.
They ask for evacuation, but at the last moment they refuse to leave. Then this is something the White Angel in Dnipropetrovsk region is encountering more and more often. Police officers drive armored vehicles to the most dangerous villages, but return half empty.
Despite attacks with FPV drones and guided aerial bombs, people stay in their homes until the very last moment. Our Sofia Moskalenko heard and saw more in the frontline zone.
Fully equipped with a first aid kit and a radio, the police officers get into the armored van. They have 2 evacuation requests from the villages of Oleksandrivka and Pisanci.
Since the situation there is dangerous, we are traveling in an armored vehicle because entering in a regular car is very difficult.
The vehicle is equipped with an electronic warfare system that detects approaching enemy drones. But just in case, we always keep our eyes on the sky.
We arrived in a village where only a handful of people remained, evacuated the last ones, and then came under drone attack. We saw them visually. We reacted very quickly then, taking people to shelter.
We find the right address, but there's no one outside. The police call the man and he asks to postpone the evacuation.
But he just isn't home right now. He didn't have time to get ready, so we'll come for him tomorrow.
It's the same with the people in Pisanci. They decided to leave using their own transport. Not wanting to waste the opportunity, the police go to the neighbors. They try to convince them to evacuate anyway.
I don't know, the farm, the dogs, I feel sorry for them too. We probably have, well, only 2 or 3 households left on the streets, and that's it.
In the last month, they say there's no escape from the drones. They attack both day and night. Shops and pharmacies are closing one after another.
We had already stocked up on things for the kids in advance. We used to work there, but this one closed down recently. Alexander to Kiev, it seems this one was closed. We'll hold out as long as we can, and then we'll call for evacuation.
Everyone here is monitoring the news from the front. They hope the front line will move farther away from their homes.
We heard that they managed to drive them out of the area known as Ivishneva, according to what people have been saying.
But while the law enforcement officers are talking to Ivan, they receive a message over the radio. The REP has detected a threat. No.
Need to act? Maybe not yet.
Get closer. Copy understood. We leave the village as quickly as possible. People are already waiting at the evacuation point. It's a married couple and their neighbor. Altogether, they had to flee from Proziana.
2 Shaheds hit, rocket-propelled. One exploded about 15 meters away.
Suddenly and completely exploded all at once.
The post office, the library, everything burned down. The Shaheds exploded. Debris flew everywhere. All the windows were blown out.
Yuri and his wife are heading further to the transit center. And our evacuation team is already on the way to the next village, Romanki.
But you can hear everything. Especially the shelling. As soon as it starts, it begins from that side. And from here, they can shoot from all directions. I'm not going anywhere. I'll just stay put. You have to pay for everything. And what can you do with 3,000 in...
Romanki Turkey forced evacuation for families with children hasn't been announced yet, but people are leaving voluntarily. Anatoly, the father of an 11-year-old child, is thinking about this too.
We hear, we see, we think. They say we think about it. We go to bed and think about it.
In total, since the beginning of summer, more than 20,000 people have already been evacuated from the frontline communities of Dnipropetrovsk region. Of these, at least 4,000 are children. From Dnipropetrovsk region, Sofia Moskalenko, Yevgeny Lopatnichenko. We are Ukraine. Marathon, United News.